In our today's video, we are going to learn how to use a flow switch and a contactor to automatically pump our water when there is no water in the tank, and automatically stop pumping the water when the water fill up the tank. Now let's see how to do the connection. Now the flow switch is a sensor that detects the level of water in a tank, meaning that when there is water filling up in the tank, the flow switch will automatically turn off the pump. And a contactor is electrical switch that switch high power circuit. It contains a coil terminal A1 and A2 with normally open terminal, which is the auxiliary contacts that is normally open 13 and 14. So check our previous video, you will see how the explanation of a contactor is. So we are going to move forward to do the connection with the flow switch. The coil terminal of a contactor, whenever it is being energized, the normally open contact of a contactor will turn normally closed, and the normally closed contact of a contactor will turn normally open. Now let's do the connection together, one after the other. So this is my flow switch cable. The black is my common, I've identified it already. The red is my normally closed contact of the flow switch, and the blue cable is the normally open contact of the flow switch. Let's do the connection with the contactor to the flow switch. First, let's power the contactor. We are going to bring a power supply to the contactor. Now the A1 is where our live supply will be terminated, and A2 is where our neutral will be terminated. And note that A2 terminal of this contactor is 2. We have A2 here and we have A2 here, and these two terminal is being joined together. So if you connect it here, it will still work, and if you connect it here, it will still work. Now let's do the connection together. This is my live terminal of my voltage supply, so I slot it here as A1. All right, I'm done. So I'm going to connect the neutral of the contactor to A2 terminal of the contactor. I'm done connecting the neutral to the contactor. So let's power the contactor and see how it works. You know, we introduce the neutral here and the live here. So let's power the contactor. So as you can see, from the neutral being terminated at A2 and the live terminated at A1, we have powered the contactor. Now this contact here that is normally open when it was not excited by the coil of the contactor have turned normally closed. Therefore, there is a current flow from this point to this point, and there are current flow from this point to this point. You check our previous video, you will get more explanation about a contactor. Now let's see how to connect the flow switch to the contactor. Alright, let's do the connection from the contactor to the flow switch. So I'm going to lose the terminal A1 back to connect it to the flow switch, so that the flow switch will be the one to power the contactor. So I'm going to connect my live terminal of my voltage supply to the common of the flow switch. Alright, I'm done. So I'm going to connect my normally open terminal, which is my normally open contact of the flow switch, to the A1 of the contactor. Alright, so I'm done with that. So I'm done connecting the flow switch to the contactor. So what is remaining is for us to connect the zoomer to the contactor. So in this case, our zoomer is going to be my bulb. So I'm using my bulb as my zoomer. So I'm going to connect the neutral of my zoomer to the neutral of the contactor, which is A2 contact. So this is my A2 from the contactor. So I'm slotting it here. Alright, so I'm done connecting it. So I'm going to connect my live terminal of the zoomer to the normally open contact of the contactor. Because once the coil contact of the contactor is being energized, the normally open will turn normally closed, and the L1 and T1 will also turn normally closed. There will be a voltage flow and the current flow from L1 to T1, from L2 to T2, L3 to T3. So I want to use normally open contacts. So if I'm connecting my Zumo live terminal to normally open 15, which is my output load. So I need a voltage supply that will flow from here to here. So I have the load, so I need the supply to enter here. So what am I going to do? I'm going to loop from my A1 contact of the contactor to the normally open. So let me do that. So this is my normally open input. So I slot it here. All right, I'm done. So I'm going to take it to the A1 contact of the contactor. So I'm joining the normally open of the contactor together with the normally open of the flow switch. Slot it at A1 of the contactor. So that is A1 of the contactor. All right, so I'm done. Let me insulate this point. All right, that's all. So what will happen is that once the flow switch is facing up, from the first video I explained that very well, it means that the water will fill up the town and the Zumo will automatically stop pumping the water. And when one is facing down, it means that the water is empty from the town, so the flow switch will automatically pump the water using the contactor. So this is my Zumo in this case, and this is a flow switch, this is a contactor. Now let's power it and see the operation. So if I drop it down, the contactor will automatically pump the water, meaning that there is no water in the town. So you can see my pump have automatically start pumping the water by turning on the LED, and if I take it up, it means that the water fill up the town, so you has automatically stop pumping the water by turning off the LED and turning off the contactor. That is the operation, how it's being done. So I hope you understand the video very well. If there is any question, drop it at our comment section. We'll do well to answer all your questions. Thank you.